This is Steve Beverly asking for your help. WLJT Channel 11, West Tennessee's home for educational and quality TV since 1968, needs your financial support. We don't sell commercials. Instead, we rely on donations from viewers. Channel 11 is the most local station in all of West Tennessee, bringing you local shows about events, happenings, and issues important to West Tennessee. It's really easy to donate. Go to westtnpbs.org. It's quick, easy, and secure. Donate today and show your support for local, educational, and quality television. Channel 11 needs your support today.
A dedicated community advocate, an active member of the Trenton Community Council, he has been instrumental in several important initiatives working to preserve the history and culture of the Trenton area. Hello, I'm Don McCorry. On this edition of Tennessee is Talking, we're sitting down with Sam Doaks III. As an advocate for community empowerment, he's played a significant role in helping to raise the awareness and honor the history of African Americans in the region. Let the conversation begin.
We are rolling. Confirm record. Can we get a mic check? Check, check. Stand by camera 2. Take 2. Stand by announcer in 3, 2.
West Tennessee PBS presents Tennessee is Talking. Let the conversation begin.
Thanks for joining the discussion here on Tennessee is Talking. Hello, I'm Don McCorry. From being part of the local Juneteenth events that celebrate African American heritage to efforts to save a historically black school, Sam Doaks III has been a tireless advocate for Trenton's past and future. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Your family has a history of contributing to Tennessee. You want to tell us about it?
Sure. Thank you for having me. So it was Presbyterian minister Samuel Doak and his son that actually built the oldest college here in Tennessee. That's Tusculum University out in East Tennessee. They are accredited for it, but it actually was the Doak slaves that shaped the bricks and built the school themselves.
Wow. Do you know what year that was?
Oh, excuse me, 1796.
1796.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Got it.
And well, the stipulation was that through oral traditions is taught that when they built the school, he allowed them their freedom, and we also learned that he gave them their education there as well. So okay. That's one flag, but there's many others.
Okay, that's why we want to share this information with our viewers.
Okay, well, there was a private George Henry Doaks Jr. in the United States Army, as many people may know, was shot and killed by Jesse Hill Ford, the writer of Liberation, Lord Byron Jones. That made national news, NBC, New York Times.
This was in war, or was this?
This was in Humboldt, Tennessee, actually, and where they shot the movie Liberation, Lord Byron Jones. Okay. And also in Trenton. But 1971, like I said, United States Army and mistaken identity. He ended up taking my cousin's life. But I say that to say this, that we are deeply rooted in the history of Trenton. My grandfather was the first black school bus driver. Wow. His nephew was the first black police captain.
Yeah, it
yes,
clearly
sir.
sounds this has become very personal to you. Can you share a little bit how you decided to become involved as a community advocate?
Yes, sir. Big shoes, let me tell you. My grandmother lived 99 and a half years, so we called her Mama Gerlene. And when I moved back to Tennessee, she mentored me in her last years. And she coached me about the procedures that they took to incur change. Okay. And so going door to door, talking face to face, going to City Hall or the county courthouse.
So service runs in your family?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. As someone who is so deeply engaged in local initiatives, how do you see the impact of your work in changing your community?
Well, the response for events like Juneteenth has been amazing. We've also collaborated with the local police for events like National Night Out to keep occurring annually to show our camaraderie between keeping our streets safe and the homes we live in. So I can definitely see that being here for Black History Month is one thing, but being there for the people of Trenton is another. We represent everyone, and I do see a change in that.
Yeah. How many years have you had the Juneteenth celebration? Is this just for the past few years?
No, this will be our 6th year.
The 6th year?
Yes, sir. And we did one back in 2015, but in 2020 we began to have it annually.
Okay. And the community is very receptive? And
most definitely. It grows every year. I think our police officers have more fun than anyone there because they get to really engage the youth.
Okay.
And so that's important.
Got it. Okay. In your view, what is the importance of celebrating Juneteenth?
It gives a sense of identity. Also, it allows people to understand that no matter what their cultural background is, that we are here as Americans and that we can share the freedoms that everyone's been shared for so long. But we can do it with a sense of pride as far as knowing who we are, where we've been, and teaching where we can go.
Okay. And speaking of teaching, you have the opportunity, I guess, of teaching young people as well as adults about the holiday, the history behind Juneteenth itself. How do you do that with the youth, especially?
Well, storytelling, one. Oral traditions have gone on since the beginning of time. Also, the story of the drum is important. It's important that they know that. So the elders pass that down, that wisdom, to the children. And they're very receptive. As you know, everybody loves music.
Yes.
But to understand what's embedded in that music, embedded in the heartbeat of the drum is important.
Can you share more about the school and I guess how you ended up in Trenton, or your family ended up in Trenton? Because you said you moved back here from Louisiana.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, as I said, the Reverend Samuel Doak, he was one of the over-the-mountain men. He started the Presbyterian Church of America and also, like I said, established the first college here. But when he freed his slaves, actually, my grandfather taught us that we weren't even slaves because their oral traditions taught them that they were free when they got here. So as people migrated west, they settled down in places like New Bern, the Dyersburg area, and of course Trenton.
Okay.
I have a grandfather named George Washington Doak that built one of the oldest churches in Trenton, Jemima's Chapel, which also served as a Masonic lodge for years.
Right. We see that you are the third, so your heritage is obviously very deep.
I'm named after his son.
You're named after his son.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. All right. I understand that there's a historically Black school in Trenton that you are committed to saving. You want to share that story?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Trenton O. Rosenwald is a passion of mine. It's been over 10 years now, but congressional candidate and former city alderman Hollis Skinner, as well as local historian Dr. Al Jordan, reached out to me when they saw my solo efforts, and they felt to express the fact that it definitely takes a village. You can't do it by yourself. I think it was Dr. Carol Van West out of MTSU that let them know that you're going to have a community response in order to save this school. It was Hollis that went out there in 2017 and spoke to the State Building Commission that stopped the demolition of the school. And so this is something that I'm very passionate about. My father did graduate from the original version of Trenton Rosenwald, which was burned down in 1954. It was built in 1928.
Okay.
But it was burned down in 1954 and rebuilt, and that's the building that stands there today over 70 years.
Is it a middle school or high school or?
Well, it was a high school.
It was a
then
high
it became a middle school. Then it became a community center, and now it's just a daycare.
Okay.
Majority of the building is vacant.
And are there fundraising efforts or events that you're holding to get people, physically to help you with this? As you said, it takes a village, and it obviously is going to take some money.
Definitely.
So do you have any fundraising efforts that are in the works that the community can get involved in also?
Well, it's like my grandmother said, it's a face-to-face town. And I'm zero emissions. I walk pretty much everywhere I go in Trenton because it's a small town. It's good. People know you. And so we've worked up something like a good response of sorts, a consortium going from local government and nonprofits and churches all the way up to Nashville, as far as even the Speaker of the House and the Congressman are very supportive in our efforts to resurrect that building and repurpose it as a hub for the community.
Yeah, I know you've probably run into some challenges and some roadblocks during the process, but it has not stopped you in your efforts for making sure this happened. I'm sure the community would love to get involved. So is there a place that they can go? Is there a website or a Facebook page that we can go to find out more information to show that support?
Right now my Gmail is sufficient, which is Trenton Community Council, all lowercase, at Gmail. If anybody would like to reach out, right now, like I said, it feels like we're beginning over and over again. So now we're beginning to actually implement this plan that people have, this dream of creating a community hub. If anybody else has that dream, that would be more than welcome. Okay,
sounds like you've had some setbacks, but it has not derailed the entire project itself.
No, sir, it hasn't. It's anything, it's fueled even more motivation to get it accomplished.
Good. And that Gmail address is?
Trenton Community Council in all lowercase.
Great. You want to talk a little bit about your role on the council?
Sure. That was birthed by Hollis and Dr. Jordan. Like I said, the concept of going out in the community and finding people who are willing to incur change. My role has been just recruitment and almost as if glue of a sort to try to find people's gifts and put them in the proper place where they can implement that change in Trenton and throughout Gibson County.
Are there vacancies on the council? Are you looking to add to it, or you just want more support for that council?
Well, I believe everything's on hold until we get something accomplished at that school. I believe every desert community requires an oasis, and so we don't have that in Trenton. It could provide many resources, and the team we have put together, I believe, is really sufficient in what their efforts are.
Okay. Because I would like for the community who is excited about this project, who may want to get involved, to be able to have something to connect to allow them. And where, once again, is the school in Trenton, if they wanted to visit it?
Well, if you're familiar with history, and it's called geographical racism, most Rosenwalds are in the bottoms in any city that you go to, or in the lowlands, in the flood zones. So that's the same in Trenton. Ours is located right off of 2nd Street and Lexington Street, right there in the heart of the city, just only a couple blocks from the City Hall and the county courthouse. We're right there in the community.
Okay. Has the city government or state government provided any support in this project?
Most definitely. We're not taking no for an answer. Okay. And those no's have turned into yeses during this last decade or so.
Okay.
So yes, the city has vowed their support. The county's got our back.
County's got your back.
And we're really excited about that.
Okay. How many people do you have on your team, or is it you?
Well, Trenton Community Council is made up of pastors, mothers, fathers, just laymen, people who work in politics. It's a very gray area as far as specifying who these people are, because at any given time, people are willing to help. I've attempted to take me, myself, and I out of the equation and implement us, and we. It's very important that we do this together. So we started off as a nonprofit, like I said, and right now we're just recalculating. Now that things have grown and we've gained so much support.
Gained support and recognition.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I just had a great thought that if it's not being done already, this would be a wonderful conversation with young people to have within their schools, with the schools that they live in, to know the history behind the school that you're trying to save. I don't want to give you any more work, but I'm sure that the schools would welcome to have you at one of their assemblies or to share this information with young people to get them engaged as well.
Definitely. I network with the schools on all level. Trent Special School District has been very gracious. And I also am on the council at the library. On the board, just appointed trustee. I believe in education. And, it's very important that people have a sense of what we're doing. I think the children of Trenton maybe have more of a desire for this than even the elders because of the lack of resources in Trenton.
Okay. On a broader scale, how does this impact the narrative of African American culture throughout the country? I mean, because you were talking about how small Trenton is, but this is a big project. So it has to have an impact going forward for a larger community. Something like have a movie done. I mean, we've had movies there before, but someone to get the story out.
Most definitely. Working on some documentaries. Rosewall Alumni documentary, Martin Luther King 40-year anniversary documentary there in Trenton. It reaches out to, I believe, to everyone who has a passion for their elders, their struggle, the stories that they've passed down. Dr. Jordan said, doing nothing is never an option.
An option, right.
Is what he says.
Right.
And it's very true. I think it just reaches out to our story entirely.
You also mentioned that you have pastors on your council, so you've obviously been able to share this or they've shared it within their churches.
Yes, sir. During 2018, I think crime was on the rise, got pretty violent. We created a ministry network where ministers were able to get together. We prayed on the streets. It's made change. They know what the heart of this effort is. Crime rate has gone down exponentially in the crime-riddled areas.
Yeah, that's impressive.
And so it's something that we take pride in, and prayer is a big portion of that.
Yeah. You mentioned the documentary that you want to share a little bit more about that, or can you tell us without letting the cat out of the bag?
Yes, most definitely, and I'm so thankful for PBS in supporting my efforts in that.
Okay.
Miss Faye Dodge, she's a former school teacher at Peabody High School. She's been wonderful putting together the Martin Luther King marches throughout the years. During COVID, she reached out to me for some assistance as far as collaborative efforts to continue. But because of the spirit of the season, COVID laws won, and people were kind of Zooming instead of getting out. At the same time, Trenton Community Council was planning our first Juneteenth. And so those pastors came together, and white churches, black churches, white pastors, black churches, in the spirit of Dr. King. And we got together, marched.
And you said it started during the period of COVID.
Most definitely.
Wow.
We weren't really affected by COVID in Trenton.
Okay.
So,
things... And it was an outdoor event also.
Yes.
So
very, very risky. But like I said, the spirit of the age requires people to be bold at times.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a remarkable achievement, and continue going today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How do you think this documentary is going to impact the citizens of Trenton to allow them to become, I guess, a little bit more deeply enmeshed with Dr. King's message about equity and justice?
Well, I believe when those children sit down with their grandparents and their parents, and they get to see them in their younger ages demanding, righteousness, it'll kindle a fire within the next generation. They'll feel responsible almost to get out there and do when it's required to do.
Okay. Now, I know that you're not going to be able to do this without including some personal stories of your family history within this documentary also.
Well,
don't be modest.
Anybody that knows me knows that I'm for others. I put self last. I put others first. If you want to know about me, I'm not even really a Trenton native. My people are from there. We've been there almost 200 years, but I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and was baptized at St. Boniface, which, if you know the history of Milwaukee, you know, this is not about me, but if you like to Google St. Boniface, Milwaukee, Wisconsin in the 70s, you'll see that that same spirit is within me.
Is alive within you.
Most definitely.
Okay, that's great. Well, I look forward to it. Our viewers will look forward to it.
Thank you.
To be able to find out a lot more about your family story as well.
Yes, sir.
What impact do you want to have on the Trenton community? What would you identify as a benchmark of or a hallmark of achievement that you would be really, really proud of? The school completion?
The school, definitely. I'm affiliated with the library, so expanding the library, definitely. Having more than just celebrations, but really heartfelt gatherings where people can share their ambitions, and we can grow. We have room to grow in Trenton. We're the county seat. So that's my hope, is that we can grow with this time and not be stuck in the past there.
Okay.
For so long we were deprived of voice, and now that that voice is prevalent, I hope it's a clear and precise one. Yes, sir.
Good. Well, the other thing I know, there are people that want to get involved. So once again, remind us how to go about getting involved.
Okay. Well, start at your local city council meetings. Find out the issues, what's going on. Ask questions. Get out there. Be bold. You know, Scripture says, gird your loins. You know, fill with your heart of hearts. Don't go through hearsay. Find out really what's going on and network with the people that have the resources to get the outcome that you require. That's it. You know, we're in an age where it's easy to network, yes, but it's hard to humble yourself to ask for help. So humble yourself. Everyone that knows me knows I give away tennis balls. I actually brought you one. I don't know where I put it, but I've given over 100 in the last year, and the concept behind that is that when the ball's in your court, it's your time to serve.
Great. Thank you. Unfortunately, we are running out of time on this edition of Tennessee's Talking. We want to thank Mr. Doaks for joining us.
Thank you, Don.
If you want to rewatch this program or share it with a friend, remember it can be streamed anytime on the PBS app, along with all local Channel 11 programs. You can also watch it on westtennesseepbs.org. Keep the conversation by following West Tennessee PBS on social media. Until next time, keep on talking, Tennessee.
Do you have a topic you'd like to see discussed on a future episode of Tennessee is Talking? Maybe you want to be a guest and have something to talk about. Send your ideas to tnistalking@westtnpbs.org. Include all your contact information and let the conversation continue. Tennessee is Talking airs each week on Channel 11, Tuesday nights at 8:30, Friday afternoons at 2:30, and Sunday nights at 6:30, and streaming anytime on the PBS app, the West Tennessee PBS YouTube channel, and on our website, westtnpbs.org.
Hello, Tennessee is Talking fans. This is Peter Knoll, General Manager and CEO here at Channel 11, and I'm along with our good friend,
Yeah, Steve Beverly here with you, and I'm part of the Tennessee is Talking family, and we are glad that you are, because on Tennessee is Talking, we talk about issues that are all about home, which is what we are.
What's been some of your favorite shows that you've hosted?
I think some of the really favorite ones that I've had is when we went back and we had State Senator Paige Wally with us. And he talked about some of the key issues facing us, including mental health, because he's also a mental health counselor and a psychologist, as well as one who is a lawmaker.
Well, if people want to see more shows like Tennessee is Talking, we can only produce these programs and air them and stream them with your support. We don't sell commercials, we rely on your donations. That's what makes Channel 11 special. Your donations pay for the cameras, the editors, the producers, the writers, the lights. It takes a lot to put a TV show on.
And the thing about it is that shows like this, you get depth about the issues facing West Tennessee. You don't have to deal with it in a 90-second soundbite. It is really telling you the story of what you need to know.
Donate now at westtnpbs.org and we'll send you one of these lovely gifts, Tennessee is Talking tote bag, cap, or the Tennessee is Talking folder. Donate now.
The program you've been watching was made possible through the generous financial support of West Tennessee PBS viewers like you. Please visit westtnpbs.org and make a donation today so that we can continue to make local programs like this possible. Thank you.